And this episode of Penn Point starts right now. This episode of Penn Point is brought to you by Busted Tees. This may be old news, but I was on television on the Joy Behar show, and there was a guest host. She was great, and I was on with Jerry Springer. This is, to you, weeks ago. And one of the stories that came up was Michelle Bachmann screwing up Elvis, not knowing his birthday.
Before we get started, let's all say happy birthday to Elvis Presley today. Happy birthday!
But rather celebrating his death. And what a gaffe this was. And Jerry Springer made this great point that the problem was not that she made the mistake on the date. Anyone could do that. But that it was kind of not authentic because she wasn't really a fan of Elvis, or she would have known that, and all this stuff pretending to be a fan of Elvis.
We played you a little bit of Promised Land when we pulled up. You can't do better than Elvis Presley.
Kind of doesn't ring true after that. That was a good point. And then we brought up this Warren Buffett editorial where he thought the super rich should be taxed more in the USA. He wants to give more money. And Jerry Springer also agreed that Jerry Springer, wanted to give more money and wanted Warren Buffett to give more money. And made me crazy. I mean, why don't they? Warren Buffett is allowed to give all his money to the U.S. government to use it. They can use it. He doesn't have to wait for them to tax him. If Jerry Springer wants to give all his fucking money to the government, he can do it. Now, I love Jerry. I love the person, and I even more love the opera, which is, of course, nothing to do with him except his name, his life. But I like Jerry Springer. I worked with him years ago, and he's really humble and sweet and nice and way, way wicked smart, and I like that all. But why does he just give his money to the government? Why don't you just give it? Why do these super rich people, and Seth MacFarlane's another one, say they want the government to tax them more, but then they don't give them more money? Warren Buffett gives his money, a lot of his money, to Bill Gates because he believes that Bill Gates does a better job at helping. Well, no, I can't say that. I'm not sure of that, He may not think they do a better job, but he does give some money to Bill Gates. And Bill Gates, might get rid of polio, might get rid of malaria. He's doing cool shit. And he's really helping a lot of people, and so is Warren Buffett. But why do they think that the government will do more? And they act like this is compassion. They act like if we give more money to the government, that the government will use that money to help poor people and help people that need help. But the government will not use the money for that reason. They will use the money for bureaucracy, for bullshit, and to kill people in other countries. As Teller said, we're using money we don't have to kill people we don't know for reasons we don't understand. You can tax Warren Buffett 100%. You can tax Bill Gates 100%, and it still will not make a fucking dent in the money we are spending to kill people. Killing people is expensive. We could just fucking stop that. I mean, I know that I'm libertarian, and I've said this, and I'd rather have a smaller government, but if you want health care, if you want Social Security, if you want public schools, if you want roads, if you want bridges, you can have all that stuff. Just stop spending our tax money to kill motherfuckers overseas. We don't want to do that. And stop spending tax money putting potheads in fucking prison. And stop spending our fucking money arresting prostitutes and other victimless crimes. Just fucking stop it. Stop having wars, stop killing people, and then you don't have to raise the fucking taxes, and you can still have all your entitlements. And I'm not going to argue with you. I mean, I'll argue with you then, but first let's stop the war. First let's stop putting fucking everybody in prison, and then use that money that we save, because I think Warren Buffett does more good with his money in his own hands than he does if he gives it to the government. And maybe Warren Buffett thinks that too, because he's not given extra money to the government, at least that I know of, but maybe I'm all wrong. Anyway, Jerry Springer, love you. I want to take a minute and talk to you about busted tees. It doesn't matter if you're into video games, movies, science fiction, or just wrapping your torso with something weird, Busted Tees literally has you covered. Get it? You may have seen a busted tee or two pop up in movies and TV shows. I wear them now again, and I'm in movies and on TV shows. Now you can grab one for yourself. Head on over to bustedtees.com to find the shirt of your dreams, your bizarre, hilarious dreams. Enter the promo code PENNPOINT, PENNPOINT, and receive 20% off your order.